Hello, my name is Sahan Sajjadi. I work as lab assistant for the course TDDD24, Web Programming Interactivity at Linköping University. I'm going to show you what functional and non-functional requirements you're required to comply to for each lab by going through some previously developed sample applications. There is going to be a video for each lab, at least for labs 1, 2, and 3. You can find the link to each video by visiting the homepage of corresponding lab, and of course you can access these videos online on YouTube and try to look for them by using the keywords TDDD24, the course name, and my name. As I mentioned before, I have already developed some sample applications for labs 1, 2, and 3, which can give you a better understanding of the final product and how they will look like in the end. These apps are already uploaded on Google App Spot, which you can check out while watching these videos. Okay, let's get started with Lab 1. It is highly recommended to read all the information available on the homepage of each lab before going any further, and of course you need to read the assignment part to have a better understanding what you're required to do. Here we go. This is our first app for Lab 1. As you may know, Lab 1 is all about client-side components. There is no connectivity to the server, and there are no server-side components involved. Just GWT components. It is quite simple and not a very complicated application. You're required to provide a data set. In my case, I've provided my data set from different sources like United Nations Population Information Network and Wikipedia. Your data set is needed to be stored locally in a separate file or in a data structure. Okay, let's just have a look at my data set. Each data item in my data set has 4 different attributes: the city name, area, population, and population growth rate, which is not presented here because it is only used in some calculations. Okay, let's try to add some city to my table. Before going any further, let's just have a look at my components used here. I've used one label here as a timestamp and one label here as a heading, one button here, one text box, one flex table, and one image. Okay, so let's try to add one city name to my flex table, like Houston. Okay, so as I click on add or press the enter in the text box, the whole information about Houston is extracted from my data set and is shown here. So everything is local. There is no connection to any server component. I try to add some other city. I have about 15 different cities in my data set, which is enough for the first lab. Try to add some other cities like Paris. If I try to add Berlin, which is not a valid city, I'll receive a message. If I try to add Houston twice, then I will receive a message. Okay. Of course, I can remove these cities from my flex table by clicking on the remove button. As I click on the remove button, these cities are removed only from the flex table, not from the data set. So I can add them again to the flex table. There is a refreshing mechanism which refreshes and updates table every 2 seconds. Of course, the area is some static data, so it doesn't need to be updated, but the population, which is dynamic data, it needs to be updated so the user can see the latest version of data. As you may know, you're required to implement some randomization in your code. In my case, it's not actually randomization, it's all about some calculation. What matters here is to have some changing data. It could be implemented by some randomization or some calculation. My calculation is based on the current population and the growth rate. So it gives me some population as time, some new population, amount of population as time goes by. So you can do the randomization or just try to do some calculation to change your data. There is a coloring theme here. For those cities which have positive growth rate, the population is shown in green, and for those cities which have a negative growth rate, the population is shown in red. And as you can see here, the population of Tokyo is decreasing as time goes by. It is something 1 and it's going to be like something O. If we wait a little here, we can see, here we go. And of course I can remove these items. Okay, I think that's all for now. I wish you all good luck. Thanks for watching this video.